YouTube, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host TKK and we are back with another video, guys. Got the Apple TV here. We're going to be opening this thing up. Now I'm going to skip doing an unboxing and get straight to the meat and potatoes. This video is going to be an initial impressions. I want to just explain to you to let you know that I am a first-time Apple TV user. Never in my life have I had one of these devices in my home. Okay. This device is brand new. It's been out about a week now. So it's the Apple TV 4K, the Wi-Fi plus Ethernet. In my opinion, this is probably going to be the best option because for the additional $20, you get the Ethernet connectivity if you can support having a wired connection, as well as you do get double the storage. So this model does feature 128 gigs of storage versus the model that's $20 less, having 64 gigs of storage. Okay, so let's just talk about my setup because I thought about how I wanted to shoot this video, and I was going to take this device and open it up and put it in my bedroom. My bedroom has a gaming PC, and so does this area too, as well as this area does have Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. This device is supposed to have a better processor versus its predecessor, more storage, obviously, for a better price point, and the latest and greatest Wi-Fi connectivity. Beyond that, I'm not able to tell you really what this has that the previous model doesn't. It does have Dolby Vision. I was a little bit concerned about that because when I was seeing this being advertised, they were talking about HDR 10 plus. Obviously, that's going to be an open source format that's going to be really good for owners of the Samsung. I do have the S95B in my household. It's not a TV I use, it's for my small kids, but all the other TVs like the Alpha 95 King and the LG C1 OLED, C2 OLED that I do have and use, they do have Dolby Vision, as well as the A90K. All of those have been featured on the channel. So I'm not really missing anything. This device gives me both of those things. So let's get it open just so we can take a look at what's inside. All right, so this is all going to be done with one hand today. I'm not using a tripod, so I'm going to be holding on to this thing. So we've got the actual device right here. Very nice and sleek, all black. Apple logo feels the same as it does on the back of the iPhones. Going around to the back of the device. You see I haven't cracked the seal on anything. You pull the seal off of that, you're going to have your port connectivities. So let me go ahead and get that done for you guys. And that just peels off really nice and sleek. Comes all the way around. You got power, you've got Ethernet, and you've got HDMI. This device does not come with the HDMI. I don't believe that they ever have come with HDMI ports. So just like your DVD players, you will provide them. Unlike your Fire Stick, obviously it's a HDMI device. It comes with a coupler. This does not come with one. Not that that is a bad point. Again, this device is cheaper than its predecessor and it offers you more. Moving on over to the controller. Again, I've never owned one of these, but this feels like a nice material. Feels like it's some quality there. Got power, some directions, as well as enter button in the middle. Volume up, down. You've got mute, play, pause. I'm assuming this is back. I don't know. This might be a home button. Again, never used one of these. You'd have the microphone button there for Siri possibly. And I'm told that this is new USB-C. Maybe prior it had a lightning connection. Not sure, but USB-C being there is very nice. So some good stuff there. Pretty much tying in that ecosystem of how you would connect all your fast charge devices. The device is really small. I like that. The height of the device, just for reference for those that may own an Alpha 95 King like I do, puts it right at the bezel of the TV. So not covering any screen if you were to have it in front of the TV, though I don't know why you would, because the cables they're not like super thin. So you wouldn't be able to have it placed there for this TV, but just as a reference. And if I haven't mentioned it already, all of the TVs that I own, I utilize Fire Stick. 4K Max, or 4K, not Max, but 4K. So it's been a great, inexpensive way for me to have connectivity. And within this video, what I want to do next is just talk to you about exactly how I've been utilizing my Fire Stick. All right, guys, so this is my current setup for the living room. A95K with a Denon receiver. Everything that I'm talking about or showing has been featured on the channel. If you want to just check the catalog, it's all shot in chronological order as to how it was introduced, right? Got a little bit of ambient light going. It could be better, but it is what it is. Basically, right now in my setup, I just utilize the Sony remote, which 2022, they've done a great job with the remotes. The Apple TV remote actually reminds me a lot of it. The backlit keys and everything. It's just a lot of uniformity here. The Fire Stick just plays really well. Being a smart device, it plugs into the TV and the TV acknowledges it as the Fire Stick. And so, you know, when I turn the TV on, the Fire Stick powers up, and that's because I plugged the USB of the Fire Stick to the TV. And so, you know, when I just want to control anything, I'm just using one remote to do so. And so just to kind of give you a quick glimpse, when I turn my TV on, it's all there, right? HDMI 1, it's set for Dolby Vision, it's 4K 60, and it's Fire TV Stick to be specific. Everything's controlled directly through my TV remote. So I'm not having to use two remote controls or anything like that. It's just a seamless experience, right? Select what I need to select, and I get to go into watching whatever I'm going to watch. So again, the basis of this video is going to be, you know, half of it, how I utilize my Fire Stick. Well, let's talk about that. 99.9% of the time that I'm watching TV, I'm watching an app called Plex. Now, I don't have the most sophisticated system, and I'm not going to do a server update now. We're going to update later. But when I'm watching my content, it's all running from a local network PC that I have that's totally just running 24/7. I've got one computer dedicated for me, you know, just managing my content, be it TV shows, be it movies, be it video games, things of that sort. And, you know, I do kind of like a peer-to-peer in-home setup if I need to transfer games from one computer to another computer for testing purposes. But Plex makes it so that I can stream my content to my phones and everything else. And so it's no different on the TV. It's just a seamless experience. It looks good. It's kind of like a Netflix, if you will. So if you're into kind of downloading your own content and categorizing it and giving it some order, this app works perfectly. And this is how I use my Fire Stick. Now, I know there's a lot of people that may use their Fire Stick for different reasons. Let me just back up a little bit. I personally don't. I know that the jailbreaking of the Fire Stick is really popular. There's a ton of different options. But as I said to you guys, and I'm not lying, 99.9% of the time when I am using my Fire Stick, I am watching Plex. Now, I'm going to tell you what I think this can do for many people. It may be myself also. Now, again, when I started this video, I was talking to you about me kind of like, you know, contemplating if I wanted to shoot this content in the living room or in the bedroom. I thought about doing it in the bedroom because I don't have any gaming consoles. But the reality is I actually do have a really high-end PC there. So I play games pretty much everywhere in the house: dining room, garage, bedroom, game room, computer room, server room, you know, living room, like everywhere I've got games going. I'm a gamer. That's really a part of my life and how I like to entertain myself for a pastime. So one of the cool things about this is that this does offer you the ability to play games. There's a lot of nice, quick pickup arcade style games that you can play with this. And so the new processor is supposed to bring to life that as an option. Add to the fact that I am a multiple iPhone user. Again, I use one for business and one for pleasure. 14 Pro, this is my personal phone. 14 Pro Max, my business phone. I got the 12 mini. The change is going to be from 12 mini to 14 Pro Max as being business. But again, you know, having the connectivity being seamless where I can take everything essentially that's on this to that. I mean, this is kind of the gateway. You're creating that ecosystem of all things being Apple. Not saying that you have to buy all things Apple, but you're just putting yourself in a position. Okay, so for the sake of this video, I actually just unplugged the HDMI from my current 4090 gaming PC setup and just ran it right into there and ran power down there. TV automatically acknowledges that I've got this device plugged in, and it gives me some instruction as to what I need to do to get this set up. I'm sure you guys have seen the setup of this. So I'm just kind of going to navigate and go and do my thing so that I can get this running. We've got a nice response from the TV to the remote to that blinking light every time I hit something. So that's one thing I'll tell you. And I actually like about the Fire Stick is that it's, you know, I use the term snappy. I think WebOS is the best operating system in terms of being quick. When it goes to navigating things, the Fire Stick does a really, really good job for me. And so this seems like it's really responsive. So that's nice. Okay. So again, I'm a first time user, guys. So this is kind of cool. This is like a, you can kind of wave. Again, I haven't seen any reviews or anything on this. I have had no business looking at an Apple device like this for the TV ever until now. So this is probably like the obvious stuff. You know, you guys are probably like, man, what? But yeah, for me, this is something new. So that's pretty cool. Just wanted to point that out. That experience is nice. So I'm actually setting this up with the iPhone. That was pretty dope. Just took it over to it and it's got like a code it's looking for. So this is awesome. Nice setup. Again, if you've got that iPhone, it's kind of like the ecosystem. All right. So for my setup completely, if I were to run it in here, and again, I'm probably going to run this particular unit in the bedroom more, I would run it through my receiver, which actually, if you got a TV like this that only has a couple of HDMI ports that are 2.1, you want to put yourself in a position where you will be able to have a receiver that can truly pass through Dolby Vision, your 4K, your 120 hertz, because the Apple TV with a lot of these smart TVs that's of 2022 will speak to it being a high frame rate device. Currently got it set up and it's just pretty cool, man. It's been a pretty seamless walkthrough. Though I am going to change the HDMI over to what the Fire Stick would be on because I don't need high frame rate on this device. Okay, and if I wasn't clear in the previous transition, basically the Sony A95K, just like with the higher end Panasonic TVs that are overseas from where I'm located, they only have two HDMI 2.1 ports. So you will be limited to 4K at 60 frames per second or 60 hertz. Dolby Vision is an option. And again, because I had the Fire Stick set up with Dolby Vision and put me in a position where I was using it mostly as a, you know, content watching device, that's what this is going to be for me. So this works perfect. The reason that I'm doing this is because I already have a nice preset on here that looks fantastic for me. So I don't need to calibrate the TV to have a different setting for some content being watched. So now I'm going to just like navigate through a couple of these different feature sets and be right back. So far, I'm really impressed, and I'm going to tell you why. The prior screen to this actually has my entire family listed. And so that's really awesome. Me being the parent account holder, I'm able to see everything. And I didn't even have to like search out like Plex, which again is the most important application for me right now. It's just all right there. And so again, I think right now what I'm more impressed about is the ecosystem piece of it all, just being there where I don't really have to go through and look for certain things. So this is so far, this has been a really good experience. You know, when you get Plex is something that you don't have to have a server to utilize. You know, they do have a lot of free content. Content has ads on it, you know, movies, TV shows, things like that. You know, so you can just kind of check it out if you want to. I'm not here to promote it, but this is just what I use and it works really good for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and get signed in. All right, just like that, I'm back set up. Here it is asking me if I want to update. I'll go ahead and run the update now. But yeah, this has been a really nice experience. A large part of the experience possibly due to the fact that I have an iPhone and I have put myself in a position where I didn't have to put in like a password or anything like that. So that's been pretty awesome. I do have to get used to this controller just kind of sliding across and everything. Yeah, I'll let this thing finish updating. All right, so Plex has finished doing its updates. You know, so let me just tell you my experience, like just looking at the dashboard, all the colors, the brightness, it's giving me everything that the Fire Stick did. One of the things that I liked about the Fire Stick was that the actual, the 4K one, at least, the menu, you know, the menu pops, it looks really good. I just like that. I like looking at menus where they actually don't need the content for me to be able to see the better clarity. And the same thing here. So it's giving me everything I feel like the TV should give me. The yellow details are really there. So just going in and out of like the different movies and things like that. Let me pause this because I don't want to have any issues there. Focusing in on the actual interface of the device, right? This looks really clean, right? So just the info, just I gotta get used to this remote, the ability that it has. This I might be turning it off because it's kind of annoying. But if I go to playback settings, right, like info tells me like what the movie is. That's cool. And this is just like a Plex thing, but it's done really well with this Apple TV. Like I like the way that this is. It's really simplistic. So just going to like my play quality. The way that this is just set up is really good. With the Fire Stick and with a lot of other devices with Plex, you have to deep dive a little bit more to get to these things. This makes it really easy for me to be able to say, hey, my internet isn't the best because I do have this movie downloaded in 4K. I want to just play it in 1080p high or medium. This is a really, really nice. I just like how quick this is. I wanted to point that out, as well as me being able to adjust subtitles, things like that. This is just implemented really well. And again, this is probably some stuff that has always been into the Apple TVs. But again, I told you guys that my talking points come in more so like from a Fire Stick, like what does this give me that I didn't already have? I will tell you this feature is pretty nice for like recording. Like if I want to just kind of speed to a certain part of playback. That's really nice. But yes, it's dope so far, man. Very dope product so far. All right, this is what I really wanted though. Like this is a big selling point for me to getting this, having my library of Apple Music just put at my disposal. I listen to a large variety of mixed stuff. All my cars have like subs and stuff, so I listen to a lot of old school stuff, a lot of stuff that's got some bang to it. That new Drake, listen, this Drake album, yeah, if you got a system, you're going to enjoy that. That Nardo, it goes crazy in the cars. But basically being able to have like all of my content, you know what I'm saying, just put there where, if I want to hear it, it's there. It's just there for me to be able to listen to. So I got a lot of Detroit. I listen to a lot of Detroit stuff, a lot of old school stuff. But it's just amazing. And again, as I was saying earlier, my buying a vinyl player was pretty much for me to be able to listen to like, the video game stuff. So even if I was to, let me see if I can just pull up something I'm looking for. It's pretty much like using your phone. Okay. Let me just stop stumbling over my words. But, I have Third Strike, that album, but I actually have it here. Obviously, if you've got a receiver, it's automatically going to adjust things accordingly to how it needs to be. My receiver, it went to stereo. But yeah, I just like this. Like this is a really good touch for me. So this is something that these are all the things that I definitely was looking forward to utilizing and finally getting. These are also the things that just kind of like, I was like, man, do I really want to spend $100+ on a device just to have this functionality? But now that I'm getting my house like set up again how I want it to be, like I'm a gamer, like this is my living room, but literally this is like my living room, like my space where I'm at. And so now I just feel like I'm so much closer to having things just the way that I need them to be. And this device is definitely going to put me in a good position to do that. So again, its final resting place is going to be in the bedroom. And I'll end up getting another one of these. Now, I can't say that I'll be buying one of these for every single TVs. And I can't tell you that the Fire Stick is just like a device that, you don't need because for its cost. I mean, you get the Fire Stick 4K, it's $25. It's hard to argue that, especially if you're utilizing it just for watching content and you want something that can provide Dolby Vision and put you in a position where, you know, it's open source. So if you kind of want to crack the code on it and do some different things, you definitely can do that. But this device is a really good device. It'll be about another week or so before I can do like more of an opinionated review. But just first initial impressions, I got to tell you guys, I'm really impressed with it. And if you have any questions that you might want to ask me to test out or look into, or if there's some cool features that you didn't see me do within this video, please let me know, because I would be more than happy to test some things out. I didn't feel like in this video I needed to go into gaming and things like that, but the music, the watching Plex, just the uniformity of, like, you know, that ecosystem is really well. So let me know what you guys thought about this video, if it was helpful at all, or if you liked it. Make sure you do hit a like, leave a comment so we can have some dialogue, and I'm gonna catch you guys on the next video. Peace, God bless, and as I always say, max love.